Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take you on a trip which I call a revolution, a cheerful revolution. And I hope you'll understand why I'm calling it a cheerful revolution. The education system of most countries in Asia, perhaps with some exceptions, concentrates on rote memorization and emphasizes literacy and numerical skills, with hardly any emphasis on new ideas and creativity skills. So we are creating followers and losers rather than leaders and winners. And if we don't change, we're going to be worse off. I speak in particular of my own country, and there are some other countries that probably could do with some improvement. So what do we do about it? Well, firstly, if we take a look at your desk, the telephone on your desk, that's the current educational system. But what we need is the school of the future, that's the mobile telephone. Look how different they are. Look how backward our education system is compared to what it ought to be. So we have created an experiment in a part of Thailand to create a new generation. We certainly need a new generation. We are the only country I know of where our parliament is right beside our zoo. And sometimes you take the wrong turn and you can't tell the difference. And it's 4 hours from Bangkok in a place called Buriram, which is amongst the lowest, 4% lowest in educational achievements. We thought if we could do something there, there's hope. So this is not just a school that you and I went to. It's a lifelong learning center and a hub for economic and social advancement for everybody, for students, for their families, and for the entire community. Schools need to serve more people than just students. Those days must be over. So this school has 3 arms. One has an educational arm, secondary education, and teacher training, has a development arm that serves the community, and a social development arm that helps to create financial sustainability so we do not beg in the long term. The school is very different. The first one is that you do not pay your school fees in cash. The parents must pay school fees in 400 hours of community service and planting of 400 trees. It could be palm trees, no problem, any tree you like. But the whole point is that we want the parents to change once your children are at our school. We want you to start helping other people. You may have helped some other people, but you may not have helped. But by your children being at our school, you begin to help other people. And the Thai government doesn't tell us to stop for rice harvest and rice season, apart from the fact that we are a rice country. So we stop and let the kids learn how to grow rice and plant and harvest rice during the rice season. And the students sit on the purchasing committee and the audit committee. We buy stuff for whom? For the children. Why can't they be involved in the buying? Learn how to buy properly, not like our crooked politicians. 2 students are elected to sit on the school board. Surely they must know what a school is, and they have many, many good ideas. So all schools should have students elected to sit on their school board. And then all incoming students for grade 7, this is a secondary school, have to be interviewed, and they are selected by grades 8 and grade 9 students, not by teachers, because they are in close connection with the students of their peers. A lot of the teachers haven't been young for a long, long time. So we let the kids do. And here they are, they've been given some flowers by the elders who've selected them to be the grade 7 students at the school. And perhaps this is probably the most interesting of a lot. If you want to be a teacher, you must first be approved by the students' committee. They interview the teachers first. And if you don't pass, then you go home. If you pass the students' committee, you must remember that they've had 8 years of schooling. They know what a good teacher is, and they know what a bad teacher is. And if you pass, then you go on to the second committee, which is a committee made of teachers. And if you pass that also, you must come back and teach for 1 week. And if you pass, then you get the job. If not, go to university. And what we're trying to do is to get them to think outside of the box so we can compete with other people, other regions. And this is what in Asia, we all have to do. We have to learn how to think outside of the box. For instance, we'll teach them, you can grow vegetables in shoes. Why do you have to grow it in the ground all the time? You can grow them in toilets. You can grow what we call ICU vegetables, these intravenous bottles after the hospital. And even our coconuts are colorful. Why do we paint only walls? Why do we paint coconuts and bamboo trees? And we believe the more we do it, students can become even more and more and more creative in the future. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create good people. The school is built of bamboo, not like this hotel, fantastic stuff, but it's built of bamboo. Bamboo absorbs carbon dioxide very well. You can eat it, you can use it for furniture, you can build it, and after 3 years, after you cut it down, it comes back to the same size again. And this is the world's largest bamboo geodesic dome in the world, 30 meters across, designed by a Singaporean architect. Our Thai architects aren't that intelligent yet. And this is inside, holds about 600-700 people. That's on the outside view. And the students don't just follow on textbooks. We have to use internet because that's more up to date. And also we're now moving on to beginnings of e-learning. These are poor students, but they're poor in cash. Their families are poor in cash, but not poor in spirit. And I know a lot of rich people who are very rich in cash, but miserable in spirit. And the project-based learning, the students have to do a lot of very strong research and explain. We have no homework at home. We have 40 minutes of teaching and 20 minutes of homework in the classroom. We have some periods where the teachers don't teach. We give you text the day before, and you must set a question each, and next day, one of you at a time will have to answer the questions. So you have to read to learn, whereas the teacher will guide. No teaching in that subject. We have native speakers, but they get the same salary as the local Thai teachers. And every lunch you have at school, you must do community service in return. We don't want any cash, but we want you to return some favor to other people. The most popular one is what we call student teach. They go out and teach younger children. They must walk there and they must pick up rubbish along the way. So they do several things at the same time. They must go out, organize, connect with the village, connect with the teachers, connect with the parents. So they know how to organize. They know how to organize. And then we also help to be the hub, IT hub. We work with Microsoft. We get second-hand computers and get it into the schools, and our students help to teach them so that we serve 30 communities around. The students also go out and do many, many good community service jobs, tree planting, helping in the temple, helping the elderly, helping the hospitals in cooking and cleaning. We do not teach our kids about inequalities in society, but in our school we do. We do have inequalities, and the students must know what these inequalities are and what they can do about it. So we have a program where they go out and serve 50 vulnerable groups and help them. We have a budget for the students, and they work in partnership. We call it positive partnership with the vulnerable groups. Here's a simple example of a grandmother who has to take care of her crippled grandchild, and she can stay at home, and she has this simple mushroom farm, earns money in partnership with our students, but our students do not get any financial reward. They just get the experience. We also have what's called a good deeds van. You can ring up the school and say, I want you to help and do some good deeds. We say, you have to join us. So we go to temples, we go to villages, we go to any other school. Wherever people want us to do some good deeds, we go there. We help to clean the religious institutions, the villages, the corner. We go to the provincial governor's office. You just give us a ring and we'll go there. We have brooms, we have shovels and everything. And they learn, and they enjoy doing it. We also have Thailand's largest ukulele band, and they go and sing in hospitals and play music in hospitals. And if we want any favor from the governor, they go and play music to the governor. We've never had any refusal after the kids have gone. It's very good PR for the school. And they get to keep the ukulele. They also go out to other schools and teach music, and they write project proposals to ask for funding to buy a ukulele for each of the students in the other school. So they're learning how to be adults right from the beginning. And we have a swimming pool. Somebody gave us the pool, and kids in other schools can come and use it as long as they do community service. If you don't help other people, no swim. So what are we trying to do? We're not trying to produce the smartest people in Thailand, because a lot of our smartest become crooks. We're trying to produce honest, and people who are happy because they're honest, caring, innovative, resourceful, possess management skills and business skills, and of course accept, practice democracy and gender equality, and generally wanting to make a world a better place. We also teach, we have teacher training. We get funding from the stock exchange and some private companies to train teachers, but not just to be how to be a better teacher. We also do them in preventive health, because our Ministry of Education is very weak. Ministry of Health is very weak on preventive health. So we do this with the teachers and parents and the teachers, how to share a new philanthropy and poverty eradication. The teachers must know how to get the parents who are living in poverty out of poverty, not just to teach the students. So this is a new type of teacher we're helping to develop. Not just new parents, not just new teachers, but new students at the same time. And so this is part of the teacher training, very, very active. We also train students in other schools after we've trained the teachers, so the two can go hand in hand together, rather than just the teachers knowing the new skill and the students not. Our students help to train the students how to interact with their teachers who've been trained. So what we're trying to do also is to help to create future entrepreneurs who are willing to share. Not like the MBAs we have around the world that turn smart people into greedy people who just want more and more and more money, never enough and never to share. So our proposal is that MBAs should change from Master of Business Administration to Master of Business Administration and Philanthropy. They should share. And so we are getting kids to learn how to do business. Very simple reason why. In my country, only 30% of the people who finish schooling have employers. 70% do not have employees, self-employed. Yet we don't teach them anything how to do business in school. It's amazing how we can allow this sort of thing to happen. So we're teaching and training in new agriculture, and we can make it attractive as well. Who says agriculture has to be ugly? All of you know that too. So we have a school farm for the students, and the students have to produce certain things, including agriculture, and this is their cantaloupe for sale, but they must give 50% of their profits away, not to the government, but as scholarships to primary school students. And here they are presenting, they select the students, and they present the funds to the students, primary school students, and what they say is, I would like to thank you for allowing me to share the happiness of being able to give. So we turn everything around. We have sports competition. The one who wins gets a coconut shell. The one who comes last gets a cup. So life is not about winning. It's learning how to lose. And when you get to 10th grade, you would get grade 7, 8, 9 in the northeast, very poor area. And grade 10, you go to the sea by Pattaya. And you learn about marine biology. You go with the Navy. You go to the industrial estates. You go to the brothels. You work in the hotels. So you get a whole new experience. And then we also shared with the hill tribes children who are invited to come and share with us. So we don't have much, but we share. And then the school must get other parents and other schools out of poverty. We have about 6 million people in Thailand who live below $3 a day. So this farm helps. This is all from recycled stuff. It's only 40 meters by 40 meters. It's the size of 3 tennis courts, but it'll get you out of poverty. It will earn you in first year $660 a month, profit, net profit, after wages, and in year 2, $1,000 net profit. So you start out with something simple, and these are not cockroaches, these are crickets. Some people said to me, Mechai, why are you raising cockroaches? I said, no, these are crickets, very high protein, and frogs. And these are retired beach umbrellas we use for mushroom tents, and each one will earn 10,000 baht, right? So 20,000 baht, it's about $700 per tent. So if you have 10 tents, that's $7,000 US. And cantaloupe, if you grow it this way, only the richer farmers can afford to do it because the poor don't have land. So we have come up with we call it our plastic vegetable condoms, because I'm known in Thailand as Mr. Condom. And so that this is what we call our vegetable plastic condoms to grow vegetables in. We don't need good soil. We can grow it on any surface. So you can see that. These are bags of vegetables, cantaloupe. 2 months you can harvest them. Cement rings to grow lime, out of season lime, when the price is 10 times the regular season. And there's a way of manipulating it so that in September you don't give it any water for 20 days. It's just about to die, and then you give it water. It's so delighted it didn't die, it just comes out like crazy. And then around one tree, we decided to add more bags, and so now we have 100 vegetable bags around one lime tree. So it all comes together almost 5,000 baht. It's not quite $200. So in 100 bags all around one lime tree. Again, it's just trying to be as creative as possible, and in a space of 2.5 square meters. The school farm also serves as a training for other people. So we help other people to get out of poverty, we help other schools, we help other institutions. We also work with other institutions such as schools, religious institutions, small hospitals, and jails. We help women whose husbands are in jail to earn a living because they don't have an income. And then we train the men in jail so when they come out, they have a skill, and we have a loan fund for them. All this is financed by the business community, which is tax deductible for them. So we help the schools, school-based integrated rural development, we help religious institutions, but for the members of the church, members of the school to get out of poverty. And all these farms are in the schools, in the temples, in the hospitals, and in the jails. So these are the 5 things we do. But here's an example of what we do in a school. The integrated farm is in the temple. It's just like 3 tennis courts in the school, in the temple, in the hospital, and in the jail. This is where they learn and earn. Then you can borrow money to do other things. You own vegetables, you own chilies, reed mats, food stalls, ice cream, and of course our mobile 7-Eleven, fruit vendor. Why have a motorbike and let it sit at home? Go out and earn some money. And then mushrooms, flowers. They even now, some schools now have their own water they sell to the villagers and others. So there's no reason why every school, every temple, every jail, every small hospital can have a business enterprise. That's the way businesses need to help. Don't give them money alone. Help to establish a business so they won't need your money in the long term. So the school of the future should be like this. It should be a teacher training facility, a hub for economic development, lifelong learning center, and most important of all at the bottom, it should be a place that will help find job training opportunities for students, placement for scholarships, and job placement. The school must do more than just get you out of grade 12 and go home. The school's got to help find summer employment, holiday employment, find you scholarships, educational scholarships, and then help to get you jobs. That's what a school of the future has to do. So what we have done, we now have, what's wrong with starting a school where you have people who want to be teachers, or want to be nurses, or to computer IT? What about people who want to work in the palm oil industry? Why can't we train them in grade 7? Apart from training what is required by the Ministry of Education, learn how to like all these things while they're in grade 7. Why can't we have the rubber industry having its own school, palm industry, hotel industry? I'm talking with Banyan Tree. They're ready to start a secondary school whereby the students will become employees within the hotel after university. The money is 3 lots. First is for construction, 2 is operating costs for 5 years, the third is establish a social enterprise to help the school. So the first sum came from this small place that has a profit of about $800,000 a year to help start the school. And the other one is a company called BREAD, Business for Rural Education Development, to help to earn money so that from year 6 onwards, that this would provide the budget for the school. So we do not have to ask money all the time. So this is the whole point. It has to be sustainable. It must go to the root cause of the problem. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end, and I have 50 seconds left of my time. So during that time, I'd like to thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope you realize that you cannot leave education or poverty eradication just to the government. We own the country, the government only rents it for 4 years, and Lord knows where they go after that. So thank you, and congratulations.